Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, and once again, we thank you for keeping the rendezvous. You're watching Right on Point, and I'm your host, Ferdy Waingeh. On today's edition of the program, we are receiving as guest Mr. Subles. He is the national president of the Boyo Students Association. He's here today to talk to us about what this association has been doing and what they're looking forward to do in the nearest future. Join me to welcome our guest. You're welcome to the program, Mr. Bless.
Thank you, Ferdy Waingeh.
It's an honor to have you, and we know that you're coming here, carving out time from your busy schedule to be here. It has not been easy, so we are glad to have you. Can you tell us a little about yourself? Who is Mr. Subles?
Subles Chia is a native of Com in Boyo Division of the Northwest region of Cameroon. I am a philanthropist, I am an entrepreneur, and I am a social worker.
Now you're here to talk about the Boyo Students Association, Bostas. Tell us about this association, the background, when it started and how it has been.
Thank you so much, Waingeh Ferdinand. Boyo Student Association started back in 1950s as Comboom Student Association. By then, Boyo Division was actually part of Mainstream Division, and so it was Comboom Students Association. And later on, in the years 1995, when Boyo Division was already carved out, the name was changed from Comboom Student Association to Bostas. And later on, in the year 2000, it was actually materialized with the first branch, which started off in Boya, and later on moved to Chang, and then definitely Yaoundé. And today, we can count Boyo Stars in almost every town of Cameroon, and Bostas have even gone international. It's good to remind you and to tell our televiewers that Bostas is in Bambili, we have Bostas in Douala, we have Bostas in Yaoundé 1 and 2, we have Bostas in Kumba, not living out Boya, Chang, and the home branch.
All right. Now, with all these branches littered all over, there's definitely been a lot of work that they have been doing. Now, can you tell us some of the objectives? We know that when we come out with an association, there are always objectives. So tell us about the objectives of the Boyo Students Association.
The first objective of Boyo Student Association is to harmonize the cultures of Boyo. That's the primary objective of Boyo Student Association. The next objective of Boyo Student Association is to bring love, to bring harmony among the 4 subdivisions that make up Boyo. That is Belon, Jinikom, Funong, and Boom subdivision. The next objective is to bring that, inculcate that harmony, that peaceful coexistence between students of Boyo. Another objective of Boyo Student Association is to contribute to the development and enhance the cultural values of Boyo.
All right. And I know that in an association like this, where there is harmonious living together, there's always that habit of sharing in joyful and sorrowful moments too.
Exactly.
Yeah. So apart from this, I want you now to dive into some of the activities that the Boyo Students Association has been able to carry out since its creation in 2000.
Thank you very much, Ferdinand. Boyo Student Association started off, one of the first activity and a major activity has been to realize a reference center where students can get back from Boyo and be able to get materials for competitive entrance examinations and what have you. That is the first activity that Bostas started off with, which was which was a major project. Until today, we are still tracking on with the project. Apart from that, we have been able to carry out other activities. The first activity is at the level of cultural manifestation and cultural upliftment. You remember that every holidays, Boyo Student Association will go back home to be able to showcase their culture, and for those who have been out of Boyo will be learning. And so at one point we had to make a paradigm shift to a kind of an orientation talk, not only a cultural week, but we had to turn it to a kind of orientation because we discovered that there was that lacking, that intellectual lacking and that orientation from those who were coming from Boyo. And so those are some of the activities we have been carrying out. Not to forget the fact that Bostas itself has been able to produce magazines like what we have on the table here, Boyo Student Association, with the name The Voice of Bostas.
So now, when you come out with a magazine like this one, what message are you passing out? What is the eye behind it?
Thank you so much. If you see, sometimes they say Cameroonians don't read, but then we understand that whatever you do and you don't document it, tomorrow you'll not be able to find the footprint. I want to remember the fact that before we came in, Bostas was producing what we call the Python strip, and so we were able to tap some good knowledge from it, and we thought that maybe along the line, since this activity was no more in existence in Bostas, it was good we revitalize it and bring it, and that's why it was codenamed Bostas magazine. That is the voice of Bostas. And so later on, the idea behind it is actually to meander and write down cultural aspects that concerns the Boyo people, which many have erroneous ideas about what transpired.
Yeah, and equally, I can find inside you showcase talents from Boyo. You equally showcase business persons. You equally share some political view and social views, the cultural views too on the magazine. A very beautiful one there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take this short break. You're going to have a slideshow there showing you the activities of Bostas since 2000. We will be right back to continue with our program. Stay with us.
Oh, mateche bebe bonange ti lokali fanga tuma sese ko ni lomi kumendo abosta pi. Oh, na kosu matu nyankwa nda we mante fili yonga makoye mboko bese manu chifre. So yafuka.
Master Robusto on the beat.
Ulai manange, kaisi manange.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for staying with us. If you are just joining us on today's edition of the program, Right on Point, we are receiving as guest the National President of the Boyo Students Association, Mr. Su Bless. Thank you for joining us once again. On this second part of the program, I want us to look at certain things. We have talked about some of the activities that the Boyo Students Association has been carrying out, and we know that For the association to be alive today, definitely there has been a lot of challenges since the year 2000. Can you talk to us about some of these challenges?
Bostas Association has come a long way, not without challenges.
Yeah.
The first and the major challenge that we have faced, and we are very sure that our predecessors faced the same challenge, was actually to bring in those members. It is very difficult. It's always difficult because when you talk to somebody about Bostas, it's like, I am not from Com, or I don't want to belong. That sense of belonging has been absent. That's the major challenge. The second challenge has actually been to mobilize funds to be able to carry out our projects. Like the reference center I'm talking about, we have not been able to realize the finances to be able to set up, because we wanted a reference center where we will build the structures, equip it. That has been a major challenge. And at sometimes, the first thing, when we came in, we discovered that Bostas was not legalized, and it was difficult for us to carry out certain activities. But I don't want to think that that is a challenge again, because actually we did everything possible for the association to be legalized. And today we can proudly say it is a legalized association. But before now, we had a major challenge, which was at the level of members running away with some of the finances of the association. And so it was very difficult for us to run after them, given that we had no legal backing. But today, we can't really remember that as a challenge. Another challenge again has been that when we go back for sensitization, we are not usually accompanied by our parents. That is, they don't pass the same message we are passing, and it becomes very difficult for those who are coming after us to make the right decisions. And so we have been looking for ways to also make them to understand that Bostas Association is actually out to bring that knowledge to those who are still lacking. Then another and the last major challenge we are still facing, which the entire country is facing today, has been the crisis. If you get me talking here as the national president of Bostas today, it is because we have not been able to hold our national gatherings like we used to do in the village. And so that is definitely why we have not been able to elect a new team. But I think that with the social medias and other platforms, will definitely swing into action and have a new team that can lead the association from where we have ended.
Wow, a long list of challenges. But now, Boyo Students Association still stands up tall, is still alive, it does not die. Now, tell us how you managed to overcome these challenges to still be alive today.
Well, the first thing is that I believe in one thing, that is teamwork. And if we have been working as a team, that is why today we will still be talking about Bostas. I have been on the ground. I've visited Bostas Douala. I've been able to visit Bostas Chang. And when I was planning to visit Bostas Bambele, that is when the crisis started. I was not able to go there. So, but then we have been with that cordial relationship with those who manage other branches of the association to see into it. Not to forget, we have constantly been to SWA branch to see into it that they should be moving. And so that is why we have been given a listening ear with my team. We have been working together, and today we will probably say it is thanks to that collaboration that the association is actually alive.
Wow. Now, so teamwork pays, and it pays big. You know, they say if I want to make allegiance to a broom, that it's difficult to break a broom, but it's very easy to break a broomstick when it's one. That's true. So, and of course, I would like, when we talk about Bostas, Boyo Students Association, who is a member? Who can be a member? Are they students? Are they former students? Because I'm not sure they're schooling now.
Okay.
Yes. So,
yes, that is a very good question. When we came in, we brought the slogan, once a Bostas member, always a Bostas member. And so whether you are schooling or not, and you want to be a member of the association, I quite remember when I was president in Bostas Yaoundé 1, we had people who were just learning a trade, they became members of Bostas. And today we will probably say they are still members of Bostas, because we saw that if we had to bring in that kind of a decision where we say if you are not schooling, that school should only be formal, we will exclude some. And so it is open to everybody, it's open to Cameroonians. Another aspect is that we have had people who are not from Boyo, but who fell in love with the cultures of Boyo, and so they became members, and today we have been moving together. I want to give a very shout out to one indefatigable guy from Mankon who has been very strong behind Bostas and Bostas activity, who happens to be Nyonka Allen from Mankon.
Mr. Nyonka Allen, Bostas member from the Mezam division.
Exactly.
Yeah, when I was looking through your magazine, I came across Bobe Julius Numi as the patron of Bostas.
Exactly.
What has been his role?
Wow, his role has just been enormous. Permit me to say the magazine you see there was actually the conception of Bostas Yaoundé One.
Yeah.
It started off in 2014 when I became president. That's a project I inherited from Bobe Mania Bobe Yu. When I came in, we started off, and today we are proud to say we have done 3 editions of this magazine. And coming back to Bobe, me, Julius Nu, he has been the patron of Bostas Yaoundé One, and subsequently we had to go for him to be the patron of Bostas itself. And to remind you that that's not the only person we have. If you go to the West region, I will probably say we are very happy to have somebody like Dr. Tangtu Fabian, which I met last weekend, and we discussed at length.
Yeah. Wow. So with all this great work that Bostas is doing, have you been able to, are you satisfied? When you look at the Baku, when you look at the stretch from the year 2000 up to the moment you became president, are you satisfied that what Bostas is doing is okay? Do you feel fulfilled that you are achieving?
I am so fulfilled. I am so elevated. I'm so happy whenever I'm talking about Bostas. Somebody asked me if this project, that was my kid sister, if this association has become a family thing that all the time I should be running after projects that concerns Bostas. I told her, that what I do with a lot of joy is what gives me pleasure. And Bostas activity happens to be that kind of activities that when I do, I feel so satisfied. I feel so, in fact, alive.
Yeah.
Yes. So, all in all, with the people I've been working with also, I feel that I am so satisfied because wherever I should get lacking in ideas, they always come in with ideas. And that has made me to be so proud being a Bostas member first and having the leadership role that I took over until date when I'm already at the verge of leaving the helm of the association, but then not living as a Bostas member. Once a Bostas member,
always a Bostas member. All right, now if you feel fulfilled, it means that you're proud of the work that you have been able to do, and you're equally proud of the work that your predecessors have done, and the members too, because you cannot lead when you lead the sheep, and you're not a good shepherd. They might go astray. Exactly. So when you feel fulfilled, I know you build up for tomorrow. Exactly. What are the future projects? What is Bostas looking forward to in the nearest future?
Thank you so much. Now, like I said from the beginning, at the level of challenges that we have actually been hampered by the crisis. But now, the future prospects of Bostas is that we normally used to have holiday classes organized for competitive exams, which was actually something we wanted that it should be holding at home for those who cannot leave the village. Yeah. But then, because of the crisis, we have not done that. We know that when things will get back to normal, we will bounce to that project. Another project again is that actually Bostas as a whole, and particularly Bostas Yaoundé One, are actually working on the 4th edition of the magazine to see into it that we meander activities that have been going on in Boyo, but leaving out the political aspect because they are very dangerous. Yeah. Remember, Bostas is not.
Yeah, it's not a political association. All right. Now, so you are looking forward to organizing classes for children who intend to come to Yaoundé to go to other parts of the world for studies. You intend to do orientation. You intend to relaunch the cultural week. That has always been a very interesting week for Bostas members and those who come to as guests, as invited guests, to be part and parcel of it. I know Bostas is also involved in extracurricular activities.
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw one time you guys were involved in a football tournament.
Exactly.
Are you still feeling that if something comes up like that, you will still participate?
Very important. That is an aspect we cannot do without. Remember, maybe you were just fortunate to see the activity here in Yaoundé, the computer tournament that have been organized in Yaoundé. Bostas have been actively participating, and likewise, if you go to Boya, they will tell you that Bostas has been actively participating in the Northwest competition there. If you get back to Bamili as we speak, they were actually taking up that activity as something to keep them together.
Yeah.
That is to tell you that wherever you go, you will find Bostas trying to integrate in social activities.
Now, Bostas has as motto togetherness, culture, education, and sustainable development. Now, you have been working with this motto. Are you of the opinion that this motto suits what Bostas has offered?
Exactly.
Your
Bostas has done that in almost every sphere.
All right. Okay. All right. Before we go to the last part of our program, I would like us to take this break. And of course, this break, we're going to, it's a publicity break. We're going to watch exactly Establishment, which is an enterprise that is owned by you and that has sponsored the program for today. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. Don't go away.
Aya kama tunchum. Aha. Number. Agas. Don't show in the building. I come in the house. The cracks. T-Son. Chris Alga.
Listen, na buna ni konge ka ule la vi fange ba. Le na gale konga na ndua si o koma maebana. Waingeh like it ama na se ejum ka we fange ba. I think she's the way of a true African. Go more fun. Go more fun. What's the ambu for naba? So be a sangaba. What you ma wrong of rapa? What you what do alali?
Wine Bulawa. Ema. Wine Chafuki. Ema. So if you know your culture, you won't let it go. You won't let it fall your hand.
Ichem janga na ichem Kame we dey here for the culture
Na isang janga ba?
Isang janga
Na isang janga baba.
Kame we dey here for the culture
Munchumi ba ibu awo ilu iba ikwasa Na wainjala bengeno Jam to tang to zubim jam
The cracks.
Na ibuna Na ichama woy
I fall in the white nankama A wine not dumb down ifama We do this for the culture Whoa, 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 whoa We do this for the culture One yo Whoa, whoa, baby The tongue the koma ilalina
This ID card from my house, so they show not come land. They don't have time to know my war, then I will only land. But balloon them like they bang and then I will come back. Like on cover, look at what Lou want up and do no one. You need to know about your culture, don't be proud, bro. If you know where you coming, what you proud of. What dim the season for see it with the bafaba. Cook the in the color binds the cover dim about. Let my call internet for me was the best thing. My mama told me a lot of things, I mean, what's some new things. Engine, engine, come out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back from that commercial break. You saw the activities of Establishment, very reliable services that you do offer there. I have benefited from the services myself, and I think that others should go for the services that you offer at Establishment. Now, you talked about challenges. You mentioned the Lord. You are fulfilled the same at the same time. You are envisaging projects for the future. Now, what do you need if you are asked? What does Bostas need right now to accomplish future dreams? What will be the answer?
The first thing I should say, what Bostas need is first of all the people. Very soon we will have schools resuming.
Yeah.
We want to see those who will score. We are already wishing them good luck in their GCE that will be out soon. We want to see them become members of Bostas so that together we can carry out the activities. Another challenge that we have now is at the level of finances. I quite remember at the level of Yaoundé 1, there is an ongoing project of Bostas magazine, the 4th edition, which we cannot go without mentioning the fact that the 3rd edition was solely sponsored by Tumfonjo Philip. Greetings, sir. And then we want to say the 4th edition, we are yet to have somebody who will actually sponsor that. But then we want to call on those who have articles to submit so that we will be able to have them, gather them. If you have a business, why not move forward and meet Bostas Yaoundé 1 president, or meet the EXCO, or meet the editorial board, so that they can actually project your own business.
Now, when they talk of the Boyo Students Association, there is something that comes to my mind. Boyo is made up of Njinikom, Bello, Fundong, and Boom. And those that fall within Njinikom, Bello, and Fundong are Com. Then there's Boom, that has their own ruler, their own form. Now, these two, I call them the two, because you have the three subdivisions that make up Com and one that makes up Boom. What is the notion? Because it almost looks like Boyo Students Association is another Com Students Association.
Well, thank you. That brings me to the fact that at one point I learned of the fact that that was just rumor, that there was that urge to create what we call Com Student Association, which didn't work. Maybe probably came up with other groups. But now there is no way we can deny the fact that it has been more of Com activity. But then we want to say we cannot underestimate the idea of just one person from Boom, and that is why today we maintain the name Boyo Student Association. I quite remember way back in 2016, maybe you've seen that in the slideshow, we had to carry out an activity there in Boom where we had to spend a week, and that is to tell you that Boyo Student Association should not limit the activities within Com.
All right. So it is to show that that harmonious living is actually there, and you have members who are from Boom.
Exactly.
All right. Now that indicates that it's spread across Boyo. So if you are from Boom and are not yet the member of the Boyo Students Association, it's high time you do, because it covers the entire division of Boyo. It covers all the 4 subdivisions, no exclusion, because we're talking about harmonious living
together.
Yeah, when an association is like this, so many people come to it. Politicians come, business persons come, the elite comes. What's the relationship between Bostas and the elite?
The relationship has been so cordial. Permit me to make mention of the fact that the first thing, before the advent of party politics, Bostas has never been part of any political party. Bostas understand that we have elites from other political parties, but embraces all. Yes, an association like this should embrace all. Now, that definitely take it inside.
Yeah, I've seen a situation in Côte d'Ivoire where students' associations are used by politicians for their political campaigns and for their political propaganda. Bostas Cameroon, Boyo Students Association, does it have any political leaning?
No, does not know one.
He welcomes everybody.
He welcomes everybody.
and have you been approached by politicians before?
Definitely. You got. It is a very difficult task to run away.
Yeah.
But then we understand that what we go for is politics of development.
Okay.
That is how we call it.
Yeah.
And so where we go in with the advent of having that activity done, and not to rally and say vote for that person.
Okay.
That is where we have made a line.
To propose projects that can be executed
exactly
by the politicians.
Exactly.
All right, but totally different to just stay off track when you have an association like this. All right, well, I'm going to be concluding with some tricky questions. Tell me one question you would have loved that I should ask you that I did not.
Well, that becomes very difficult.
Now you are the journalist, I am your guest. Tell me one question that you would have loved that I asked you that I did not ask in the course of our program.
Definitely, the question might not follow what we have been discussing today, but the very first question I think you should have been asking me is, why is it that sometimes I share almost everything on Facebook, especially when it comes to music?
Now, answer the question.
Well, thank you so much. I think that the first thing is that I go in when I see something that is coming up and that has to be portrayed in limelight. I don't hesitate. I always try to give that a helping hand so as to see it realized.
All right.
And that is why you've seen I've been more of a music promoter. At one point, people get confused because they don't know actually what I want to do. But then I understand more of what I'm doing than they watching.
Yes, so it's seemingly you are gradually turning into a blogger too.
Who knows? Maybe one day it will be like that, but I don't have prospects for that.
Yeah. All right. I want to give this opportunity to you to give your last word to our viewers and to the young people who are watching you out there, because you're a national president and you're a young person. So tell them something.
Okay. Thank you so much. Televiewers, I want to take this opportunity to tell you that life itself has not been easy, and then I want to urge you to remain steadfast, stay glued to your objectives, and tomorrow you will get the fruits. Do not relent. The time might be long, but definitely it's going to be daybreak.
Wow. Do not relent. The time might be long, the night might be long, but there's going to be daybreak. Those are the last words from our guests. We hope to have you here again next time.
It will be my pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this edition of the program today. If you were watching us, we are very grateful. It's every Friday at 7 p.m. Right on Point TV show on YouTube, MC Ferdy, Waingeh Event Services on Facebook. Always check in to watch us. And don't forget to like, to share, and please do subscribe. It helps us a lot. I have been your host, Ferdy Waingeh. Have a blessed night. See you same time next week. And just to tell you, my guest today happens to be the director of this show. Have a blessed evening and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.
What do you do?